What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
There used to be a time when the question of why are successful, independent women struggling in dating was like this real phenomena that people were trying to figure out. A bunch of shows, a bunch of books written, talk shows, all centered around this topic until men were allowed an opportunity. Actually, they weren't allowed an opportunity. They capitalized on the opportunity of media being decentralized and began to share their perspective. And we know what it is. Eventually, people would finally accept the fact that successful men don't want to marry highly ambitious and successful women. And throughout the past few months, I've seen somebody like EBONI K. Williams, who we're about to listen to here in a little bit, along with a few other women on the panel. But I've seen a woman like her visit a coffee shop. Now, she still thinks she's too good for coffee, but at least she's in there. She's not drinking the coffee, no. But you know, she at least grabbed the cup and smelled the aroma of the coffee. She senses the truth has been spoken, and she's at least acknowledging it, I would say, in this video that we're about to check out. But acknowledgement is different from actually drinking coffee. And we're about to find out what exactly is the difference. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
These real boss men, they do not desire a financial or an intellectual equal. They are not attracted to it. It is a turn off. The pee-pee goes, burp, burp, burp. It does. I'm telling y'all the truth. They did not go to law school, L'Oreal, so they could end up with a peer.
Welcome to Listen to Black Women. I'm L'Oreal, and we're here with Elle Varner.
I'm a feminine woman, and traditionally, I want to play the feminine role.
EBONI K. Williams.
Our show up in this world is EBONI K. Williams, and no man can just hop on that.
And the beautiful Melissa Ford.
I want to preface all my answers with the fact that I am a progressive traditionalist.
And let me tell y'all something. You are in for a treat of an episode, because you are sitting amongst women that are always going to tell it like it is, whether they get backlash.
I heard a lot of chicks claiming traditionalist and traditional and femininity. Let's keep listening.
I should not. So we have a lot of issues when it comes to when we want to say what we want as Black women. Right, EBONI?
Well, you know, since you went there. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. So the past several months where I've been leading conversation
Yes.
amongst Black women and beyond, I think the main thing I've learned from this, y'all, is people really want Black women to be happy with anything. What people really want Black women to understand is that we are to be accepting of our positioning as the least desirable in society. We should get the memo that nobody really wants a Black woman. Thus, if anybody was to find themselves willing to take up with us, we should be happy, we should be grateful, and we should shut up about it.
So lies right off the gate. Lies. Nobody really wants a Black woman. There aren't plenty of men out here who are married to Black women, myself included. I mean, you hear these chicks talk, man. This is what I mean. Like, they hear you and then they make up something in their own minds. Now, are there issues with the Black community when it comes to dating, relationships, and women's expectations? Yes, just like any other race. I think because we're talking about the Black community in specific, and we're involved in the Black community, and we understand it's affected the Black community to a greater degree. Feminism, this delusion when it comes to what women today qualify for versus what they want. All those things are issues that every race are dealing with right now. But if we're going to talk about marriage, family structure, the lack of fathers in homes, divorce rates, the Black community is affected the most. Yes, that is true. Let's keep listening.
And if you are a Black woman that dares to push back on that mythology, because that's what it is, it's a damn lie from the pits of hell.
Right.
And if you were to push back on that and insist upon a value system, insist upon a criteria, insist upon just a standard into which we want to operate romantically, we are demonized.
Yes.
We are, we are seen as ungrateful, and eventually we become the ungrateful, angry Black woman. And I personally won't have it.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And you know what was really disgusting to me?
So she's claiming that people are not okay with her standards. And no one really cares. I mean, they care enough to talk about it, but like, what are the results of being delusional? Because that's what she's talking about. People don't want women, because they're thinking about the children, to lower their standards because they think, oh, you should accept anything. No, it's about delusion. And if you don't, you're not going to find a man. All these women on here, from what I know, are single. Let's keep listening.
You got a lot of backlash. And then I believe it was Tyler Perry who came on the flip side and basically said that we need to start looking at men that don't make as much, or the stay-at-home dads, and considering them.
I think his exact thing was, I mean, if he can contribute to, the light bill, then
The light bill.
the light bill, but
That's what he said.
but he makes you happy in all other areas, then and he met you at your worth. I thought he'd actually said he met you at your worst. I was like, wait, what are we even saying? What's this?
They didn't like Tyler Perry, man. They didn't like the response from Tyler Perry. When you think of that controversial and famous quote from Kevin Samuels, buy a dog and die alone, you end up realizing, like, these chicks actually want that. If they can get the delusion which they believe they deserve, then they would rather be by themselves with a dog. This is what they do. But people took that as an insult, when the truth is that's what they end up doing themselves, choosing it, nobody making them. This is the lives that they end up living. Single as shit. Keep listening.
What is the story that we're being force-fed? It's gross.
And they were applauding him.
I was just like, this is, first of all, Tyler Perry makes movies where the bus driver looks like Boris Kojo. And in that case, bring him on. Every single woman would be like, girl, I'm dating a bus driver. Oh, you want to see him? You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's a factor. And it's like, I feel like.
I know that was a joke, but I want you guys to know that they totally mean that. These women, if the bus driver was Boris, they would marry him because they believe, oh yeah, then that's all that matters. I have what I want. No, you're still highly masculine. You still want to run a man and play that masculine role. You're still not ready to submit. The fact that they think looks will make up for what they're lacking shows the lack of understanding when it comes to relationships. Let's keep listening.
I kind of feel like it was a gotcha moment with you.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, why throw bus driver at you?
Here's the thing about what Tyler's suggesting, right? The subtext is going back to what we just talked about. Your worth is minimal. So if you are willing to accept minimal contribution to your household, a la a light bill, that is equivalent to your value in society. That's the subtext there that no one's saying out loud.
Oh my gosh. It's so important that people really understand what she just said right there, because she's completely wrong. There is a difference between your personal value and your sexual market value. These are grown women, guys. Grown women on a podcast talking about marriage and relationships at the tail end of their value in the dating market. They're conflating personal value and sexual market value. Those are two different things. The value you bring to society is different from the value you bring to the dating market, to the value you bring to that man. So you're not worthless because you can't get married, but you can be worthless in a marriage if you're not realistic enough, in touch with reality enough, in touch with what you qualify for. Then yes, in the dating market, you are not worth as much as you may think you are. Let's keep listening.
But the other subtext in there is the assumption that black women's only option is to date black men.
Oh, well.
The conversation really
Okay, now.
never gets
Let me get my book.
examined as to the other options that black women have.
Right.
You know, and listen, I understand wanting to be race loyal. I understand wanting to, if you're a black woman, you want to marry a black.
Stop it. The only person who's over here telling everybody that they should stay dating within their race is Dr. Umar. I mean, I know there's a few other people, but nobody cares. Go where you wanted, whether you're a black woman and a black man. Guys, I'm glad I thought about this right now. Who pushes against interracial dating more? Who's against it more? Black women or black men? Who, when they see an interracial couple, speaks out against it more? Black women or black men? Come on, man.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Come on. Jonathan Majors, Michael B. Jordan. Need I say more? Black men are not against interracial dating. Let's keep listening.
Man, you want to have black children. I totally get it. But the reality of the situation is that I feel like, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, I feel like black men don't really want to have the conversation that black women actually do have more options that are available to them than are ever kind of proposed.
Yeah.
Because yes, black men, sure, it might be a little bit more difficult. But if you are willing to date outside your race, the options open up. And the
I
cultural
do,
thing
but
is
wait, I have to
hard.
give a caveat for this because I don't want to make any presumptions. As somebody who has been very open and transparent about my dating within and beyond black men, I just want to say that that's not necessarily the savior complex that people think. Unfortunately, because I think when I have this conversation with black women who have never dated outside of black men, they often have a romanticized fantasy ideal about what that is, kind of like non-black men will save us, and I don't know,
No,
straight
that
to
is- that
Cam.
is not-
And I know that's not what you're
yeah.
saying.
Yes, you are. Waiting on somebody on the outside, like the second coming. Let's keep listening.
Yeah.
Right, but I do think like that was in the comments,
Yeah.
right, of kind of my bus driver gate. Well, sis, what they need to know is you can date non-black men. And you will still have many of the same perils because there are differences culturally, but men are men. And when it comes down to misogyny and default presumptions of feminine worth and value, some of those things.
So if you are a man who embraces his masculinity, you are a misogynist.
Control cross-culturally. I only know it from experience.
But I will say, some of the women that I know that have dated outside of their race, I do not. I only date black men. But they will try to convince me that it is better. And maybe that's why we have that idea that it is romanticized. Because it's like, oh, girl, you need to get you an Italian man because they know how to worship us. They know how to treat us better. Okay, so when it comes to that, do you feel like people throw that in your face as well? Because when you see a black man that's dating a white woman, it's kind of just like, okay, you know, the athletes, oh, they all got them a white woman, and that's fine.
There's a whole movement called Passport Bro.
This is what I mean.
Oh, God.
I mean, it goes to Ebony's point about black women being fed the narrative that you got to take what you can get, that you're the lowest on the totem pole in terms of attractiveness, and that black men are actively saying, I do not want a black woman. I am going to go to another country to find another, ethnicity or race of woman because I deem them to be more attractive. I deem them to have more traditional values, bow to me.
Submissive.
But find them
be
to do
submissive,
what,
whatever.
though?
It's very important that we acknowledge that white men left their women to go overseas first. And Passport Bros is a fairly recent movement that doesn't represent most black men, but they will acknowledge that and not acknowledge the whole swirl movement, right? Let's keep listening.
Marry them.
There shouldn't be no reason why you can't say, I don't want to date a bus driver. You know why? You're a lawyer. You did your education. You've done your work. You've been on television. You're still on television. And you probably don't want that kind of man. And that's okay.
And I don't think that man wants me, Lawyer. That's the other part of the
where you gonna meet
conversation.
him?
No, I'm just saying that, but that man does not want me. Melissa, can you speak to that?
I had this exact conversation about her.
Yeah.
And I posed the question about, the CEO of Xerox. Why should she have to date a bus driver? Why is this even a part of the conversation? First of all, the two of them probably have very little in common, not even in terms of them personally, but their lives and their lifestyles and that sort of thing. And what's called into question when it comes to trying to date somebody who's of a different status than where you are, you're going to encounter problems that are going to result in microaggressions, just like the fissures are going to kind of show up in the relationship, but it's going to be a lot of unsaid things. Insecurities, you know what I'm saying? Like, why, like, listen, in a perfect world, Miss CEO of Xerox, she falls in love with a bus driver and everything works out well. But in reality, probably not.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of this I can keep going. Guys, you can go check it out for yourself. That's it so far. What do you guys think of this? Let's read a couple of comments here because I don't have a lot, but a few comments here. First comment here says, the blind leading the blind. Do you guys agree? Another person here says, as a successful brother, I can't show up with my fellow VPs with a woman with yellow hair and neon nails. It would immediately downgrade my corporate brand and limit the opportunities. I know some may not understand, but this is how it goes. Here's another comment that says, this conflict between black men and black women is by design. I have found that the loyalty within our family has been compromised and we all need to heal. Hopefully one day we will break free from the distractions sent to divide us. We love you, black men, and we'll never give up on you. Another comment here says, this was the best comedy show I've seen thus far this year. So guys, only two things can be true. The first are these women are so awesome, amazing, educated, brilliant, that there is no man qualified on the planet to marry them and for them to spend the rest of their life with. They're just way beyond any man who God has created on this earth. Or two, they're all crazy and will end up alone for the rest of their lives. At this point, only time will tell. Let me know in the comment section what you think the truth is. Guys, till next time, I'm out. Peace.